everybody, it's Sarah here to take you through about a 30-minute basics class with everything that is going on in the world right now. My hope is to take you through some poses to really get you out of your mind and ground yourself into your body. So for class, if you have a blanket that you could find, grab that now, pause the video, grab a blanket, give it a nice little fold so you can sit up on some height. If you happen to have a yoga block, great, grab it. If you don't have a block, that's fine. Might not even need it, but I'll give you an option to use your blanket as a prop when that part comes about. So we're gonna start in a comfortable seat, propping up on a little bit of height, sitting upon the front edge of a blanket if crossing at the center of your shins is comfortable for you. Otherwise, what is your most comfortable seat? Close your eyes. Draw your shoulders a little bit further back in space so they line up over your hips. Take your head slightly back in space so your ears line up over your shoulders. And press your seat down into the earth. Feel the top of your head, the crown of your head rise up towards the sky. Relax the shoulders softly down your back. On your breath in, feel your breath travel up the spine, grow a little bit taller. As you exhale, breath travels down the spine, takes the shoulders down with it. Inhale, breath travels and nourishes the spine as it travels upward. Exhale, breath travels down the spine and finds some softness as it moves down to the base. And take that a few times. Inhale, breathing up your spine. Exhale, breathing down your spine. Enjoy this final breath. Bring your palms to touch in front of your heart center. Lift your heart up towards your thumbs. And take this moment to set an intention for your practice. So connecting to the reason that inspired you to roll out your mat, to move your body. What are you here to take care of, to let go of? And take your chin into your chest as you bow into your intention into yourself. Gently butterfly, open up your eyes, send your gaze forward to the horizon. Release your arms down to your sides, and then scoot yourself off of your prop, and let's take your roll back onto the back. So as you recline down onto your back, take your knees into your chest, wrap your arms around your shins, take a few gentle rocks side to side. Just notice the sensation of the release of the low back, the massage of the back body. Rock the back of the head a little side to side too. Keep your right knee into your chest. Plant your left foot down onto the ground so the left knee is bent. Begin to make some circles with your right knee, finding some movement into your right hip. Take these circles in the other direction. Transition your hands behind the back of your right thigh. Take the knee in towards the chest. Inhale, extend your right leg up to the sky, spread through the toes. As you reach up through the foot, relax into the upper body. Then bend your knee and return that in towards the chest. A few times with the breath. Inhale, extend the leg. Exhale, bend. Draw the knee in towards the chest. Inhale. Exhale, bend. Inhale, extend your leg up to the sky, and we're going to hold for 3 breaths. As you breathe in, travel with your breath up the leg, almost envisioning the leg getting longer. As you exhale, travel with your breath down the leg, and with it comes a little bit of softness. Inhale for extension, for space. Exhale, check in with the shoulders, the muscles of the face. Inhale, extend or breathe in. Exhale, breath travels down the leg. And at the bottom of the exhale, bend your knee, bring that back into your chest. Point your right toes towards the front, then flex the toes towards your face. Let's cross the right ankle on top of your left thigh for reclined pigeon. Press the right thigh towards the front or away from you here, an external rotation of the thigh. You might stay here, or you have the option to interlace your hands behind the back of your left thigh, that right knee continuing to open forward. Right knee always feeling safe. And keep your right foot flexed, but begin to twirl into your left ankle. And the other way. And if your left foot's lifted from the ground, release your left foot back down to the earth. And release your right foot down as well. Take a moment, pause. Hands can be on the body or framing the body. Close your eyes. And compare your right hip, right leg to your left hip and your left leg. And take your both knees into your chest. This time lift your forehead up to meet your knees. Feel your core turn on. Then release your head and shoulders back down. Rock your head a little side to side. Keep your left knee into your chest. Plant your right foot onto the ground. Right knee will point up to the sky. And begin to make some circles of your left knee. Other direction. Draw the knee into your chest. Interlace your hands behind the back of your thigh. Breathe in, extend your leg up to the sky. Exhale, bend, and give the knee a squeeze in towards your chest. So moving with your breath, inhale brings about the extension. Exhale, bend and squeeze. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, reach your leg up to the sky. This is where we'll hold for 3 breaths. So the inhale, travel with the breath up the leg. Think about extension, the leg growing. Exhale, travel your breath down the leg, relaxing your upper body, the muscles of your face. 2 more full rounds of breath. Bend your knee, point your toes forward, then flex the toes towards you, cross your left ankle on top of your right thigh, draw the left knee open towards the front of your mat. Staying here or interlacing hands behind the back of the right thigh, taking that right thigh any amount towards you. What I love about this is you're totally in control. The more you bring the leg towards you, more sensation, more you draw it forward, a little less, so feel free to explore. And if you have the right foot lifted, find some movement of your right ankle, but keep your left ankle nice and flexed to protect your left knee. Twirl the other way. Okay. Release your right foot down to the earth. Release your left foot down to the earth. Bring the heels of your hands to your hip crease. Fingers point towards the front or towards the sky. Then give your thighs a little press away. Create some space into your low back. Breathe there. take your knees into your chest. Roll off to your right side fetal position. Right arm reaches back behind you. So as you roll to your right, your head can release onto your arm like a pillow. Press your left hand into the ground in front of your chest and make your way up to a seat. And then we'll transition onto hands and knees, tabletop position. Now from tabletop or anytime knees are on the ground, if you want some extra cushion or padding, feel free to grab your blanket. Probably want to open it up a little bit, and then the knees have something softer to land on. Mindful that the fingers are spread wide, for this is your foundation. Wrist creases parallel to the front of your mat. Cat and cow. Inhale, lift the tail, then soften through the belly. Open up the front of the chest, cow pose, and I'll have you relax a little bit more in between your shoulder blades. Then exhale, begin to draw your tail down. Movement waves up the spine as you round the upper back. Gaze up at your navel, cat pose. Inhale, tail lifts, belly softens. Open up the chest, softening in between the shoulder blades. As you find cat pose and the tail draws down, the spine rounds, press the palms down and away so you can press the back of your heart a little higher towards the sky. We're going to move with the breath. Inhale, try to take the whole breath in to find the peak of the cow pose. Exhale, using the whole breath out to curl around the spine and send your gaze at your navel. 2 more rounds. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, cat pose. 1 more with your breath. Return back to your tabletop and come back into the cow pose. So as you lift the tail, soften the belly, open the heart. As you exhale, we're going to take the hips back in space and find Balasana, child's pose. Forehead grounds to the earth. The earth's kind of far. You could grab for a block and place the block underneath. You could roll up your blanket underneath the forehead if you don't have a block. Rock your hips a little side to side and rock your forehead left to right. Then inhale, come back up, hands and knees, tabletop position. Return back into your cow pose, lifting your tail, softening the belly, opening the heart. And exhale, come back into that child's pose as you melt your hips back towards the heels. 1 more time. Inhale, cow pose, come forward, lift the chest and the tail. Exhale, shift it back, find Balasana, child's pose. Inhale, come forward, hands and knees. This time as you find cow pose, tuck your toes, get a nice little stretch of the backs of the feet. We're going to find a bent knee, downward facing dog on the exhale. So the knees are going to stay bent. Press into the hands. Begin to lift your hips up and back where the back wall and ceiling meet. Let go of the head. Lift your hips high. And slowly lower back down the knees. Untuck the toes, come back to that cow pose. And exhale, take your hips back towards the heels, ground your forehead, child's pose. Inhale, come forward, hands and knees. Cow pose with the toes tucked. Exhale, bent knee, downward facing dog. Again, knees stay bent, ground into all 10 knuckles, or especially the base of the index finger and thumb. Slowly lower down the knees, untuck the toes, come back to the cow pose. And then final child's pose, hips towards the heels, release the forehead. Inhale, come forward, cow. Exhale, bent knee, downward facing dog, hips draw up and back. Head, back of the neck relaxes, and then begin to draw your right leg any amount towards straight. Feel your heel stretch back and down. Then bend into your right knee and draw your left leg any amount towards straight. Left heel draws back and down. And you're going to do this at your speed, pedaling out the knees or walking out your downward facing dog. And as you're moving into the legs, check out with the hands, fingers are spread wide, grounding into the base of all 10 fingers. And return into a static or still downward facing dog, coming back to the bend in both of the knees. Send your hips up a little higher, further up and back. Knees can always be bent in this pose or drawing your legs any amount towards straight without tugging or rounding in your back. Final breath in downward facing dog. Then send your gaze in between your hands and walk your feet there for Uttanasana, forward fold. Feet are hip distance apart. Pinky toe sides of your feet are parallel. Bend into the knees. Lift up your seat, your sitting bones. Take your chin into your chest. Hang heavy. Let's grab opposite elbows to release the upper back. Gently swaying side to side. And then you'll flip-flop which forearm is on top here. And open and close your jaw a few times. Release your hands down to the ground. Slide your hands to your shins. Lengthen your heart forward, a halfway lift. Tabletop back. Fold back over your legs and bring your chin in towards your chest. One more time. Inhale. Ardha Uttanasana, lengthen halfway. Exhale, Uttanasana, you fold. Bend into your knees, send your seat back. Begin to lift your chest and reach your arms forward. And use your strong, powerful legs to bring yourself to stand. Slide your hands down in front of your heart. Pause here. Close the eyes. Feel your feet on the earth. And your heart lift a little higher. Your shoulders soft. Crown of your head rises. And butterfly, open up your eyes. Take a few half sun salutations to build a little bit of heat. So we're going to return back to the chair pose as you bend your knees, sink your hips, and reach your arms back forward. So here's a modified variation of chair, a little bit more gentle onto the shoulders. Arms can always stay here, otherwise reach them up towards the sky and lift your chest up a little bit higher. Then release your hands to the ground or to a block before your legs draw any amount towards straight. Take an inhale, lengthen halfway into your Ardha Uttanasana as you glide forward with your heart. Exhale, return back into that fold over your legs. Bend your knees, sink your hips. Chair pose, you get to decide arms forward or arms up by the ears. Then you press into your feet, come to stand. Exhale, take your hands to your heart. One breath here. 2 more rounds. Inhale, sweep your arms to the sides and up towards the sky. Bend the knees, sink the hips. Utkatasana, chair. Thighs are drawing back in space so you can see your 10 toes. Chest is lifted almost like you're standing. Exhale, hands to the ground or to a block. Legs draw any amount towards straight. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, bow and fold. Inhale, chair pose. Arms forward or up by the ears. Press into your feet, come to stand. Exhale, hands to your heart. One breath. Final round. Inhale, Utkatasana, chair. Exhale, hands to the ground, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, chair pose. Come up, stand. Take your hands to your hearts. I'll have you keep your right foot where it is and take a big step back with your left foot. Front heel is going to intersect with the back arch. We're finding a warrior two pose. Left toes are spun in about 10 degrees away or in from parallel to the back of the mat. Right knee over the ankle, chest framing the right long side of your mat, arms reach towards the front into the back of the room. Spin your gaze or send your gaze to the front right middle finger. Press into both of your feet, lift your chest, your heart, breathe. Backhand nice and light on your back leg. Right palm faces up towards the sky. Keeping the lunge in the front knee. Reverse your warriors. Reach the arm up and back. Sending your gaze to your back foot. And return to your warrior two. We're going to take that one more time with the breath. Inhale. Reverse your warrior. Gazing at the back foot so it's nice and neutral on the neck. And then return to your warrior two. Bring your hands to your heart center. Take your front leg, draw it towards straight. Spin your toes towards the long right side or long edge of your mat. And then take your toes, spin them out, and your heels in. Bend your knees, sink your hips. Knees are going to point in the direction of the toes. Just shift a little side to side. Hands can stay on the thighs or you can bring them to your heart. So we're here for about 2 more breaths. Then press into your feet, come up to stand and spin your toes forward. Open your arms out to a T. Cross your right arm on top of your left and give yourself a nice big bear hug. Elbows lift in line with the shoulders. Staying here, taking the back of your hands or palms to touch. Elbows in line with the shoulders still. Pinky fingers draw forward if the fingers are reaching towards the sky. 3 breaths in between your shoulder blades. Exhale, release the arms. Inhale, sweep them up to the sky. Exhale, bring your hands down to your heart. Take your left toes, spin them towards the back of the room. Front heel, back arch alignment. Left toes spin in, your back toes about 10 degrees. Extend your arms forward and back. Chest stays parallel to the long edge. Send your gaze to the front, left middle finger. Check in, you can see your left big toe, the knee's not buckling in, which it loves to do. And take 3 breaths. Backhand light, left palm faces up. Reverse your warrior, reach it up and back, sending your gaze to your back foot. Come back to your warrior two. We'll take it with the breath. Inhale once more. Reach it up and back. Keep that bend to the front knee. And then return to your warrior two. Bring your hands to your heart center. Draw your front leg towards straight. Spin your toes towards the long edge of your mat. Then bring your heels and toes out once again. Bend your knees. So knees are over the ankles. Hands come to your thighs. Take your left hand to your left inner thigh. Dip your left shoulder over towards the right side of the room. Inhale, lift your chest. Take your right hand, right inner thigh. Dip the shoulder towards the back or the other side. Inhale, lift one more time towards the right. Inhale, lift and take it towards the left. Inhale up, press into your legs, come up, spin your toes in towards me, reach your arms out, left arm up on top of your right, bear hug or eagle arms, back of hands or palms touch. Breathe in between your shoulder blades. Exhale, release the arms. Inhale, sweep them to the sky. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart and spin your right toes back to the front. front heel back arch alignment, left toe spin in a little, and open your arms to the front and back. So about 10 degrees when I say a little. We're gonna move with the breath a little bit. So warrior two pose. Then inhale, bring your hands to your heart, draw your right leg towards straight, spin your toes in. Take your left toes towards the back, and exhale, warrior two to the back of the room. Inhale, hands to the heart, spin in the toes. Exhale, right leg bends in your Virabhadrasana 2, warrior 2. Inhale, straighten, hands at heart. Exhale, left leg bends, warrior 2. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. One more round. Inhale, exhale, and inhale, and exhale. Draw your left leg towards straight, spin your toes in, check in, both toes pointing forward, if anything a little more pigeon-toed. Bring your hands to your hips and tuck your tail. That's not what we're looking for. Think more of a cow tilt of the tail. As you hinge from your hips, wide-legged forward fold, hands release to the ground, a block, anything, a prop, a rolled up blanket at the earth's bar. A nice little trick is that the wider your feet, the more accessible this pose is. So if you're far away from the ground, widen your feet here. And then let go of the head, give the back of the neck space. You can be still, or I'm a big fan of swaying my spine side to side. About 5 more breaths. Final breath. Breathe in, walk your hands out in front of you. So your wrists are going to come underneath your shoulders and more like a tabletop back. I'll have you come up onto your fingertips. Then walk your hands further forward, hands shoulder distance apart, wide-legged downward facing dog. Spread your fingers, press down and away with your hands, let go of the head, and shift your hips a little side to side. Then return your your hands where they came from, tent up onto those fingertips. We're gonna come back into the bend of the knees. So you're gonna take your heels in, your toes out, bend your knees over the ankles and walk your hands up your thigh. Then press into your feet so your legs bring you to stand. Spin your toes in and step your back foot towards the front of the mat and spin yourself forward. Take a breath in, sweep your arms up towards the sky. Exhale, slide your hands down to the heart, fold over your legs, forward fold. Take your hands to the shins, lengthen forward. Exhale, fold, plant your hands, step your feet back, downward facing dog. And within the next 5 breaths, wide knee child's pose. You can go there as quick or take a few breaths if needed. Knees nice and wide, big toes come to touch, melt your hips back towards your heels and find your child's pose. From here, you're going to tent up your right fingertips so your right elbow lifts up from the ground, and then thread your left arm underneath, left palm will face up. Left side of your face will release to the ground, or you could slide a blanket underneath here or a block as you thread the needle. Then press into your right hand, unthread, and we'll switch sides. Left fingertips tent so the elbow lifts. Thread your arm underneath. Again, right side of the face is going to melt to the ground or something. So if you need to reach for a prop here, left elbow can soften to the ground. Breathe in that space you're creating in between the shoulder blades. And you'll press your left hand into the ground, unthread your right. Begin to walk your hands in closer towards you. Legs are gonna come together. Good way to come out is hips to the sides, legs swing to the other side, or whatever way just feels natural and good for you. As we take a few forward folds here, always recommend sitting up on some height. So you can take your blanket, finding a fold, and sitting up onto the front edge. Extend both legs forward. Right leg here will stay. Bend into your left knee and open your left knee off to the side. Now as the knees lifted here, this is when if there's any discomfort or tugging, sometimes people like to put a prop underneath the knee. That is an option. If you don't have a block, that's when you can take another blanket or anything from home to give it a little bit of support. Just an option. Then take the arms, sweep them up towards the sky, lift and lengthen. Exhale, hinge from your hips, reaching your heart far forward, grabbing for outside leg, ankle, or feet. And then the back of the neck, I want you to give it space, so bring that chin in towards the chest. Keep thinking of lengthening the heart forward, so more about lengthening the spine and breathing, sending your breath towards that sensation you're feeling into the legs, softening your jaw. And take another deep breath here. Then inhale, begin to make your way back up. You're going to draw the left knee pointed up towards the sky, extend your left leg forward, and then bend into your right knee. External rotation here with the option for support with your props. Take a breath in, sweep your arms up, lift up and lengthen, then exhale, hinge and fold, trying to keep all the length as possible of your spine. Again, don't forget about that back of the neck, give it room, give it space, extending the heart forward, lengthening the spine, and staying always, always with your breath. And breathe in, lift yourself back up, draw your right knee pointed up towards the sky, extend both of your legs forward here, take your arms by the sides. Now if your prop's in the way, you might need to move it. Spread your fingers wide, ground your hands into the earth, and then press into the hands, lift up your chest, draw the shoulders back. Take an inhale, sweep your arms to the sides and up, lift and lengthen, and exhale, hinge, fold, reach for outside legs, ankles, or feet. Take one more breath here to lift and lengthen halfway. Shimmy your heart a little bit closer towards the front of your mat, and then exhale, let go, fold until you get a nice few breaths here. Continuing to lengthen the heart forward, slide the shoulders away from the ears. Let's take 2 more breaths, breathing in and out, breathing in and out. Take an inhale, make your way back up, slide or bend the knees first, then you're going to slide yourself off of your prop, whatever has you lifted, and make your way down onto your backs. As you arrive here onto your back, return to that drawing of the knees in towards the chest. Probably should have already told you, might be nice to have your blanket nearby as you're here on the ground. So with the knees into the chest, rock a little side to side. And then with your knees stacking over the hips, we're going to take a supine twist. Open your left arm off to the left. Right hand outer left thigh as you guide your knees over to the right. So this is when a block could be nice or a rolled blanket. So the knees don't comfortably reach the ground, putting, some support underneath the right thigh. Then with the left upper back melted down or heavy towards the earth, and send your gaze towards your left fingertips. You'll take a breath in, and as you exhale, zip your navel in towards your spine to use the strength of your core to bring your knees up through center. If you used a prop underneath the thighs, I'll have you move that so there's a little support. Then your right hand off to the right, hand guides the knees over to the left. Send your gaze towards your right fingertips. Then draw your knees up through center. Give them a squeeze in towards your chest. Bring your knees out as wide as your armpits. Feet face the sky. Grab the outside of legs, ankles, or feet. Happy baby pose. Draw a little movement, perhaps. And then take your knees into your chest. Final big squeeze here. As you make your way into Shavasana, I'm going to leave you in Shavasana so you can take this as long as you'd like. Find the pose together. I'll guide you into relaxation. If you want to set a timer for like 5 to 7 minutes, that can be a nice option, or just allow yourself to drift away and wake up or get yourself up when you're ready. Nice and slow is always key. So you're going to take your legs a little bit wider than your hips, spray your toes out, heels in, open your arms out to the side, palms out. Now you have that blanket likely within reach. If you want a little bit of warmth, it's nice to put a little bit of extra weight onto the chest area. Nice and comforting, very grounding. A little tuck of the chin in towards the chest, back of your neck is long. As you begin to relax the forehead and the muscles around your eyes. Soften in your cheeks, release your tongue from the top of your mouth and let go in the jaw. Soften your neck and your shoulders, your arms to your palms. Releasing upper back, mid back, low back. The legs, the knees, calves, ankles, feet. Soften in the arches of the feet and the toes. You've done all the work. Here you rest.